Hey guys, what's up? It's Saxe here. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a different content series other than my usual Warzone gaming content. Own a craps table. Been a big fan of craps for the past couple of years, and my son and I have been studying the game, looking at different strategies, and we want to talk about a strategy that he and I have developed. It's a two-hit regression. We call it Saxe's Unholy Cross. And if you're familiar with any strategies, you know that the Holy Cross, which is the 5, your place bet, the field, the 6, and the 8, and of course the pass line, especially if you're shooting. So that covers all the numbers, and theoretically, with every roll of the dice, you should be getting a payback. We don't take the 5 into consideration until the come bet, which is why it's the Unholy Cross. So let's put some chips on the table, explain how this works, and then we'll do some live rolls for you and see what we can turn this $1,000 chip into at the end of our session. All right, on to explaining the strategy on the table with chips. What we do is we start with the $1,000 bankroll. We get $725 chips and we get $305 chips. So the way that this works is you stack it up. You're going to put $90 placed on the 6, $90 placed on the 8, and $45 on the field. Now we're going to run the field bet as an independent bet from the 6 and 8. So essentially what you want to do is you want to roll the dice. You're going to hit either a 6, 8, or a field number. If you hit the 5, it's really not the most ideal roll when you start because you don't have any money on it. You're going to lose your field bet. You don't have the come up. So on your come out roll, you want to avoid the 7 and the 5. So essentially what you want to do is you want to hit one of the field numbers. This pays 2 to 1, so you hit a field number, you get paid out another $45, and then after you hit that, you take that down, and hopefully you're going to hit, one of the numbers in the boxes, because that's when you're going to establish the point being on. So say you hit the 4, you're going to get your field bet paid out in 45, then you take it down to 15, which is the table minimum.
Pays 1 to 1.
Because it pays 1 to 1. So, no, I didn't. I said 1 to 1. I said 1 to 1. So, when you hit a 6, your payout on a $90 bet is going to be, what's the payout on a 6? 105?
105.
So you're going to get paid out 105. So let's do the payout for the 105. So you're going to hit the 6. Now when you do hit the 6, you are going to lose your field bet. But there's a couple ways to cover that. So I missed a step here, unfortunately. So you're going to want to be on the pass line as the shooter. You get your point established. You win your field bet, pays 1 to 1. You're going to put your odds back here on the 4. And then you're also going to play a come bet, okay? So this is after we've hit a 4, this is what the table is going to look like. So then your next roll, you're going to hit the 6, and that payout's going to be 105. You're going to say, dealer, take me down to 48, 6, and 8. While he takes care of that, you're going to put all this money back in your rack, and then you'll have $48 on the 6 and the 8. So you take all this, put it back in your rack, boom. Now you're not up on this shooter yet. So your next roll, you're going to want to hit a 6 or an 8. Let's say we hit an 8. So we're going to lose our field bet. The come is going to travel to the 8. And we're going to get paid out on that $48.
Technically, you'd also have one on the 6, too.
Technically, we would have one on the 6. You're right. Yep. So we hit the 4 where the point is. Then we hit the 6, which is where we got our first regression. So the come bet moves to the 6. We hit the 8. The come moves to the 8. And now on a $48 bet, we're going to win $56. So we're going to say, dealer, take me down to 18, 6, and 8. So now with this shooter, we should be in profit after we've pulled everything down. So the only money that we have on the table that we're responsible for is this $15, because this is a contract bet, the 15 on the 6 and the 15 on the 8. So we have $45 that we need to continue playing through. At this point, you can pull down your bets. You can even pull down your odds bet because that's not a contract bet. And then you're only responsible for $45 out of your initial $240 that you laid out on the table. So you've made your money back. You're in profit on the shooter after 3 hits, essentially. You hit your field, your 6, and your 8. You're fully regressed. You're playing with profit now. So now we're going to put the field bet back up. We always play the field bet, and we're always working, even on the come out. So now we have our bets up. We're fully regressed. Now let's say we hit a 7. That's the worst number that you can hit. But you're still going to make money on the 7, even though you're going to lose your odds, your pass line, your field, your 6 and 8. Because you have this come bet up, you're hedging your bets, so you're pulling back $30 into your rack of the essentially 45 that you were responsible should you have not had your 6 and 8 place bets up. So it's a very good strategy to ensure that you are hedging your bets, you're making money pretty much on every single roll, you're covering all your bases. Now, let's get into some live rolls to see how it actually works. All right, let's get into some live rolls. So we have our dealer here. We're gonna give him 75 in 25s and 15 in reds and 5s, which is gonna be $90. Place that on the 6, place that on the 8, and then we're gonna take 45, which is gonna be one $25 chip, and 4 $5 chips to make it $45. All right, we are working. I am the shooter, so we have to be on the pass line. All right, so dealer's gonna give me my dice, and I'm gonna take these 3s. And now I know a lot of people are, up in the air about setting dice or not setting dice, just grabbing them and throwing them. I like to try to set. I don't know if it makes a huge difference or not, but here we go, roll 1. All right, re-rolled 12s. Now that would be one of the best rolls that you want to start with, because you're gonna get paid out, depending on the casino or the table, you're gonna get paid out triple on the 12 or double on the 12. This table pays triple, so we are going to take, look at that. Look at that. We're gonna take that all, and then we're gonna knock this down to a $15 bet. And we're going to put everything else in the rack.
Pass line.
And the pass line is a loser on the 12, which is fine because we just made up for it on the field bet. All right, let's get it again. Let's hit a 6 or an 8 and set the point.
There's a 7.
7 out. That's unfortunate. So we're going to lose everything but the pass line because we're still on the come out roll. So we're still going to win our $15 bet on the pass line. So we're going to put the field bet back up at 15 because we're still on the same shooter, same dice. We're going to put our 6 and our 8 back up for 90. This is okay because you hit the 12 on the first roll. If you didn't hit that, you're looking at this going, oh boy, we're down a little bit of money. All right, let's try the flying, the 3V set. Let's hit a 6 or an 8. Let's go.
How about an 11?
Yo, 11. We're going to get paid on the field, and we're going to get paid on the pass line. So this isn't a terrible roll rate here to, try to make our money back and hedge our bets. All right, let's do it again. Now, essentially, the 6 and the 8 are the easiest numbers to hit next to that dirty one that goes in between the 6 and the 8. But let's try to hit it.
About 5.
There's the 5. Okay. So our point is set on the 5. We're going to lose our 15 in the field. That's fine because we've made it back with the pass line wins, the field wins that we've had. So we're going to put our 15 here in the field, 15 in the come, and 15 5 pass line odds. Okay. So now let's try to hit that 6 or the 8 so you can see the regression and how this whole strategy comes together and works.
There's a 6.
There's a 6. Beautiful. All right, that's going to lose the field. The come is going to travel to the 6, so now we essentially have 2 bets on the 6. That's going to pay 105. Dealer, take me down to 48, 6, and 8. Look at how much money we're going to be able to put back in our rack. And essentially, after you get down fully regressed and you're still shooting and collecting, then you can start to press up and cover your other box numbers. All right, 15 back in the field, 15 back on come. Let's try to hit a 6 or an 8 here. That way we can get fully regressed and pay for this one shooter.
6.
6 again, there we go. All right, so that's going to pay 56 on a $48 bet. We're going to win our come bet. It's not going to travel because we already had the 6 there. So we're going to get paid out right here. Just take this 15, throw it right on the field. We're going to collect our $56. Dealer, take me down to 18, 6, and 8. And then we're putting $60 back in our rack on top of the $56 win that we just hit. All right, so now we're looking really good. So now we're not scared of that big red number. We don't want to hit it, of course. We want this roll to continue and keep going so we can continue to collect.
There's an 8.
There's an 8. Beautiful. We're going to lose the field. The come is going to travel behind the 8, and we're going to get paid $21 on that $18 place bet that we have on the 8. So now we're going to put our 15 back here. We're going to put 15 back on the come. And now we're in really, really good shape. All right.
4.
There's a 4. We're going to win our field. Our come's going to travel. We're just going to take our field winnings, put it right to the come. So now we have a 6 and 8 place bet, a 6 and 8 and a 4 come bet. And now we should really start just collecting on every roll that we hit a number on.
3.
3. We're going to lose the come bet on the 3 because it's a craps number, but we're going to win the field. So essentially it's a loss. If you have a dealer that's good and they understand what you're doing, they'll just leave it here, or they'll take the come bet and then they'll put it here as a payout, and then you'll just put it back here on the come. Okay? So, all right, let's keep going with this.
6.
6. So now we're going to get paid out 21 for the place bet. We're going to get paid out 15 for the come bet. It's not going to get pulled down. It's going to stay up. So we're just going to take our come winnings, and then we're going to put $21 into our rack because it doesn't need to go anywhere else.
The only way the come would come down is if this is a different number than what's up here.
Correct.
If you had a 25 right here, it would come down with the 15 here. So you get paid 15 with this down, and the 25 would move here.
Correct. So you can put up as much as you want on the come bet. We're just playing table minimums. We don't have a huge bankroll. $1,000 bankroll to some is a lot. You can play this strategy with less of a bankroll, but you have to be very careful and make sure you know the shooter. If you know the shooter and you have faith and trust in the shooter, you can play this strategy on $500, even though you're putting up half of your bankroll on the come out roll.
You have 2 bullets with $500.
Right. So if you have a roll like this, where you're just collecting, you've already pretty much doubled your money. Look at that. We hit a 12. So we're going to lose the come bet, but we're going to get paid triple here, which will just make it a double because the come is going to stay up, and we're just going to rack $30. Sorry about my dogs in the background. They're having a little bit of fun this morning. I'm having a little bit of fun here just shooting these dice. Let's try to get out of this.
5.
Hey, look at that. Point winner. So, the come bet is actually going to win. It's not going... Actually, no, it travels, correct?
No, it wins. It wins on a 5.
Okay, so it will win even though we don't have the come bet up, but because it won't travel because we don't have a point established, so we're going to lose our field. We're going to just put that rate back up. We're going to collect 15.
Toss a 1 right here.
I'm going to put $1 here because it's on the 5, which
ends in E.
It ends in E, so you want to make your odds bet an even bet. So the 5 and the 9, because they end in E, you want to have an even odds bet. So 16, 20, etc., etc. And it just makes the payout even, and you're not losing half a dollar because most tables don't pay out on a half dollar anymore. So you're either going to lose 50 cents if you just keep it at a 15. It's just better to put that extra dollar on it because then you're going to get your odds payout, which looks at $24. So like that right there. So we hit the point. We're out of this shooter. We're collecting quite a bit of funds here. Now, we can pull our 6 and 8 if we want to, but because we're fully regressed, we're going to leave everything up. We're not going to work the come out. After you fully regressed, you do not work the come out roll. It's going to be...
It's unnecessary risk.
Right, it's an unnecessary risk. The come bets here have to stay up. Those are contract bets. We're still on the same shooter because we won the game. So we're just going to play the pass line, the field. We're going to leave our 6 and 8 up, and we're going to continue and start a new game. Seven. Perfect time for that to hit, except you're going to lose the come bets and your field. So that's not a good time to hit it because you want to collect on those on the come numbers.
That's why you don't work the
But that's why you don't work the come out because then you would have just lost everything. So we won our 15 here. We're going to go back up on the field. And we're going to keep rolling because we're still on the same shooter. 8 hard. So we're not going to get paid out anything there. But we can essentially start all over. 15 back up in the field. 15 come. And 15 odds. Now this is where it gets really exciting when you're on a shooter who's kind of been a hot shooter because now you can play whatever strategy you like. Boom, 8. So we're going to win on the 8, we're going to win on the come, we're going to win on the pass line, and we're going to win on the odds. Now guys, I'll tell you, this is not typical of how your rolls are going to go. I'm actually on a monster roll right now, and we'll see how much that we've collected after we 7 out, after we lose the game. And then you can get an idea and see if this is a strategy that you would like to use or not.
Hard 8.
We're back on the 8. Hard 8. Man, I wish I was pressing hard 8s right now. So we're going to lose the field, but we're going to go back up on the field. We're going to cover the come. We're going to get our odds on that 8. And we're just going to keep shooting here.
Hard 8.
Hard 8. Back on it. Hot shooter in the house today. So we're going to win the come bet. We're going to just put that right here. We're going to collect this because you can't have a come bet up on your come out roll. We're going to win the pass line, odds. This is the 21 that we're collecting from hitting the 8. And we're just racking funds at this point in time. I'm running out of room in my rack for my 5s. Yep, I've actually filled it up. All right, let's keep going.
8.
We're back on the 8. I think, see, this is why the 6 and the 8 are so good to play because they just come out so often. It's the 6 and the 8 are the second highest number to hit next to the 7 if you go by math.
11.
Yo, 11. We're going to win the field. We're going to win the come. We're going to take this now and let's cover some numbers. Let's cover the 4 and the 9. No, let's actually cover the 5 and the 9. We'll cover all the true inside numbers.
Yep. Covering half of
Covering
the
half of the
statistical chance
dice
roll.
combinations right there, okay? So that's where this gets really fun.
5.
Look at that. We put our bet up on the 5. Boom, the 5 hits. We're going to get the come to move. We're going to lose the field, but we're going to win $21 because of our place 5 bet, okay? So essentially, once you get out of the shooter and you're playing with profit for this shooter, you can play regular craps, whatever strategy you really like to play with.
7.
Look at that, 7 out. So we're going to lose the field. It's going to get paid on the come. We're going to lose the pass line, our odds, every place bet that we have up. Okay? Now let's take a look here. Remember, we started with $1,000. Let's see how much we got in return off of that strategy with a really hot shooter. Like I said, guys, that's not typical of the way your rolls are going to go. But if you have a hot shooter and you know that it's going to go on a run, man, this strategy is great. Let's color it up. Let's see what it all looks like. So we got 20 bucks, okay? Is that 400? 500? 600? 650? I'll leave this out here. 100. I like to do that. Add this one. These two. Make this next 15, right? These are design. I should guys click checks. Give me 1 second. So we got 5. This 1,000?
Yep, so this is 250. That's our.
Okay, so 300, 800, 9,000. So that's our initial buy-in. These chips right here. Here's another 100,
25.
20. That's 20.
Oh, 25.
125,
35.
135,
55.
155. So we're at $155 profit off of one shooter playing that strategy. We didn't get a chance to press a whole lot, but it's just that easy to make $155 on one shooter. You do that 10 times, you've doubled up. Let me know what you think about this strategy in the comments. If it's something that you would use, something that you would add, remove, change, let me know. All right, guys, so hopefully you like that strategy. Here's our $1,000 chip. Here's our profit from that one shooter, 150 bucks. You know, it's not as grindy as some of the other strategies out there. If you see a lot of come out 7s or short rolls, you can definitely be hurting. But if you have a good shooter who can hit numbers, who can hit points, specifically 6 and 8, and your field numbers, you're going to be looking good. I've used this strategy at countless occasions at the casinos, have doubled up multiple times, walked away with, you know, well over $1,000 in profit. It's one of my favorite strategies that I've used, and it's definitely a viable one that you can use at any casino. If you're playing on a $10 table, you know, just play what it would be, you know, your $10, $20, $30 instead of the $90, because that looks huge, because you're looking at 15, 30, 45. You're basically 6 timesing the table minimum on just the 6 and the 8. So if you want to play at a $10 table, run $60 on it, you know, that way you're not in for a ton of money. You absolutely can. Again, let me know if this is a strategy that you would like to use. If there's anything that you would change to it, let me know in the comments. And we'll see you on the next Craps strategy video. See you then.